everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of the No Filter podcast with your boy Brandon, who is I, your host. You already know the vibes. You know what it is. This is episode 1. I'm just so excited right now, guys. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. Something that I've just been wanting to create this podcast. It's definitely been in my head for a while. Shout out to my boy Lalo. He helped me come out with the name of the podcast, which we'll be talking about in a bit. But yeah, man, it was super hard to come up with the name of the podcast. And I just, luckily I have good friends that helped me out with it. I got people's opinions, and basically this was the one that everybody felt was the best to name. And yeah, man, I'm just so excited. Like, we finally got a name for the podcast, and it just, from there, it was kind of just, I just was able to create everything, the intro, the outro, the ad breaks. I mean, pretty much everything was able to be created after we thought of the name. And yeah, man, I'm just so excited, man. I've been wanting to create this podcast for a while. Actually, before I even started YouTube, I wanted to create this podcast. I really got into watching podcasts, and it was just something that I felt so strongly and just passionate about, like something that I thought seemed dope to do. So I wanted to do that, but first I just kind of felt like I had to throw myself out on the internet and just kind of get used to that setting. So I started to just make YouTube videos of like sneaker reviews and stuff like that, because I'm a sneakerhead, or as some would say, hype beast. But yeah, man, I got into that, and that helped me kind of just, it was just easier for me to be on camera after that. And then from the YouTube videos, one of my boys, my boy Chango, shout out to my boy Chango, he's really helped me a lot. But he had a podcast called the 313 podcast with my other boy George, and he asked me to be a guest on there, and I was a guest on there, and it was a really good episode. So I guess after that episode, we kind of just talked, and on FaceTime, I believe it was on FaceTime, and we kind of just talked about our ideas and what we had planned for this, and or for our futures, and kind of like what we wanted with YouTube and stuff like that. And we just kind of connected on a special level, I guess you can say. And so they asked me to become a part of their podcast. So if you guys don't know, I have another podcast called the Real Talks Podcast. It is with my boy Chango and my boy George. You can just type in 313 podcast on YouTube or Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, because it is produced by 313 Podcast, but we call ourselves the Real Talks Podcast. So yeah, we got ourselves on there, but I did ask the boys before. I asked for their permission to be able to create this, filter podcast, because it is something that's like, I started off as obviously part of a group thing. That's how I started in this podcast world, you can say. So I just kind of wanted to get their approval, just to make just so everything would be better, and they pretty much supported it. And my boy Chango has helped me out with like the trailer that I posted on my Instagram. If you guys don't know my Instagram, it will be in the description below. But yeah, he just kind of helped me along and just helped me learn how to edit podcasts, and he just helped me a lot. So it made things easier with the approval of that. And yeah, man, I'm just super excited. I'm just super excited to get this going. And like I said, I've been wanting to do this for years now. Probably like, I don't know, 4 years, I would say, that I've been wanting to do this. And I mean, I'm finally doing it, better late than never, is what the saying is. So yeah, man. But as to why I called it the No Filter Podcast, if you guys watch the Real Talks Podcast, you guys know I'll be wilding on there and just be saying some crazy ass shit. And I just think it's so dope when people are able to come on a platform like this, or a podcast, and be themselves. And myself, I do cuss a lot, so I just want to be myself. And like I said, I want other people to be themselves when they come on here. I think when you are yourself and your guests are themselves, then it makes the content a lot better, and it's just more entertaining to see, because you're actually getting to know that person on a certain level, rather than just the shy version of them or what it is. Because when most people come on stuff like here, from personal experience, when we have guests, or even when I was a guest on a podcast, I was a little bit shy at the beginning because it's kind of weird, like the lights, pointing at you and the camera right in front of you. You're talking into a mic, you got headphones, like all this stuff going on. It makes it a little bit weird, because for some people it is already difficult to have a conversation without all this stuff, and then adding all this stuff just adds more pressure, or just more like a sense of shyness you have. So yeah, I just think and then like if you can't cuss or whatever it is, it does make it like you have to kind of restrict yourself from stuff like that. So I decided to do this as a, no filter. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. If somebody says some crazy ass shit, then I'll bleep it or I'll cut it. But for the most part, everything that is on here is gonna be what the fuck. I mean, whatever we record is pretty much gonna be on here. If it's too wild, like I said, I'll bleep it. But for the most part, you're gonna hear a lot of curse words or whatever the fuck it is, because we just gonna be wilding on here when I do have guests. But yeah, this first episode, I wanted it just to be me, because I am the main person. I am the host. But yeah, when I do have guests, I do plan on keeping the conversation going when they can't talk, but also letting them, talk because they are the guests, and that's just how it is. But I just like I said, I wanted this episode to be just me, personally, because like I said, I'm the main one. I have my name on it. So I just wanted you guys to get to know a little bit about me if you don't know me yet. But yeah, man, I just think there's something so dope in creating something on your own. And yeah, like just, I don't know, like having YaBoiiBrandon in the name is just something so, I know to some people it's like whatever, like that's your Instagram handle and all this stuff, but to me it's just so dope, like to be able to have your name on something, and it just makes it that much better when you create something and it has your name on it and people like it, but it also does, on the flip side, it does hurt more when people dislike it because your name is on it. So there's pros and cons and stuff like that, but yeah, I just wanted to create something on my own, and I'm just really fucking excited to do this because yeah, I'm just so excited to do this. I know it's going to be super fun. I have friends that are just so entertaining and just so dope. Like I just have a list of people already that I have planned to come on here as guests, and there's people that have already hit me up. Episode 1 hasn't even came out, as obviously we're recording episode 1. You guys are listening to episode 1 currently, or watching it, however you're watching or listening to your podcast. But yeah, and there's already people that have hit me up like, hey, I want to be on your podcast when you start bringing out the episodes and stuff like that, which is dope because it'll make it easier for me to come out with a episode every single week, which is the plan. And hopefully an hour minimum. I don't want nothing less than an hour, nothing less than 50 minutes for sure, because as I've kind of just started watching podcasts and stuff like that, I've kind of learned that an hour is kind of the goal, right? Like if it's short, like people kind of just like, people just want to listen to something long, right? It helps their time go by faster, because I know some people might be listening or watching at work or on your way to work. However your situation is, people tend to listen to podcasts to make the time go by faster. I feel like at least that is the situation for me, or it's just entertaining for me, So yeah, it's just something so cool, and I'm excited to do that for people, and I'm just excited to be creating a platform. As you guys know, my platform it's growing little by little. Obviously it's not crazy numbers, but it's there, where people are kind of noticing my stuff. Like, I can go talk to, friends or family or just whoever it is, and people that I haven't talked to in a while. When I see them, they'll be like, oh, how's the YouTube going? And that type of thing. When they ask you that question, it's like, okay, they're noticing, right? So my platform is growing, which will allow me to have guests. When I have guests on here, it'll allow them to kind of shine more. And like if I have a friend that's trying to build a brand, he can come on here and hopefully get some exposure, because I have that platform. And if my platform keeps growing, that's more exposure for my guests and also myself. So it's just super exciting. Like I feel like I can help a lot of people with this and hopefully get them out there, because like I said, there's a lot of dope people around, and I would just like them to show themselves, because I think something can really pop off. And yeah, man, it's just so dope. Like I'm just really excited to create this. And I mean, this is episode 1. Like, this is fucking history in the making right now. I'm just so excited. Like, I know people are gonna like this. I know people are gonna hate it, whatever it is. But it's something that's mine, and that's something that I don't know. I don't know the feeling, but it's just such a dope feeling, and I'm just so excited because I wanted to do this for a while now. But yeah, man, I just can't wait. Like, it's gonna be fucking wild on here. It's gonna be fucking wild. Yeah, I'm just so excited. And this one right here, I was kind of nervous about this first episode because it's me talking to myself basically, and for like at least an hour, which is tough because when I have on my other podcast, obviously I have my 2 boys, and we'll tend to have a guest on there, so it's easy because you get to take breaks and listen to the other person, and then you speak, right? And it's me right now. I feel like I have to just keep speaking, and I'm talking to you guys, which is really through a camera, so it's kind of difficult, but we're gonna get through. We're gonna get through. It's episode 1, so just bear with me. Yeah, man, I'm super excited. It's just gonna be fucking lit. I'm excited, man. But yeah, a little bit about me. Obviously my name is Brandon, YaBoiiBrandon. You already know what it is. I am 23 years old. I was born in Monterey, raised in Fresno, so I'm considered a Fresno boy. And yeah, man, I'm just me. Like, I don't know. I like sneakerheads. I like sneakers. Obviously, I'm a sneakerhead. High beast. I just like I don't know, just cool accessories. I'm into fashion. I played soccer for I don't know how many years, from like the age of 5 until probably about 18. What else? I'm just a crazy boy. Like, I like to say wild shit. I'm just me, man. I'm just me. I'm Mexican American. Yeah, I'm just me. I can be fucking wild, Probably it's because I'm always drinking these energy drinks. Shout out to Monster if you ever decide to sponsor. If this podcast makes it big, come through. Or actually, I'll go to you and ask for a sponsorship. It'll be dope. So let me take a sip of this Monster real quick. So good. But yeah, man, it's just gonna be so dope. It's gonna be so dope. I'm excited for this. I know other people are excited for this. There's been a couple people that are like, "Yo, when are you gonna drop episode 1?" Since I dropped my trailer on Instagram, I mean, I'm excited to drop it, and it's gonna be dope. Like I said, I plan on doing weekly episodes. From the point that I dropped this one, I think this first episode is just gonna be on YouTube, for now. And then I will switch over the audio to Spotify, Apple Music. However you listen to your podcast, it will be on all platforms eventually. But as of right now, it is just going to be on YouTube, because I still need to work on or learn how to put it on the other platforms. I'm sure it's not that hard, but I'll get used to it. But right now, my main source is going to be on YouTube, and it's going to be on my YouTube channel that I already have, which is. I have sneaker reviews and stuff like that, but I'll create a playlist of just a podcast. So if you just want to listen to the podcast, then you just go to that playlist and they're all right there. So it's going to be simple. It's going to be nice and easy to watch. It'll be on the bio. So it'll be on all my social media. So it'll be really, really easy it's just really easy. But yeah, man, I'm so excited. As you guys can see, I'm probably talking too fast maybe right now. I can feel myself breathing. I can feel my heartbeat like just pounding, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm excited. I keep saying that. I know I'm so excited. I can't wait till we have the first guest. Hopefully next week we'll be able to have the first guest. Yeah, hopefully next week we'll be able to have the first guest. I do need to buy one more mic. I will have a total of 4 mics, but one will be for me. So the most guests we'll have on here is 3 people besides me. So yeah, we're gonna be rocking with that, and I'm just super excited. But for right now, we are going to hear a word from our sponsor of the podcast, which is for the future, because obviously this is episode 1, so we don't have a sponsor yet. But I just wanted to include a break, just to be a little bit professional. So let's get to this break. All right, so that was a word from our future sponsor. Yeah, man. But anyways, where were we at? Where were we at? Yeah, it's just gonna be so dope to create this, and I'm just excited. I'm just excited. Talk a little bit about myself. What should we talk about? What should we talk about? Let's talk about some sports, just a little bit of sports. The NFL offseason, free agency has been pretty crazy so far. I'm a cheesehead, so I'm a Packer fan. Shout out to my Green Bay Packer fans out there. We got Aaron Rodgers back on a 4. I don't think this is accurate because Aaron said he will be back for the next season, but the numbers weren't completely accurate. But what is out there is a 4-year, I believe, $200 million dollar contract. Franchise tagged Davante Adams, which I'm super excited about, but I did want him to get his bag, so I don't know if he's too happy about that. But yeah, man, I'm just super excited to have those two back. I definitely want some first round wide receivers, some first round wide receivers in the draft. I think Aaron deserves that because I believe it's at least less than 5 first rounders that he's played with, wide receivers. If not, it's 0, which is crazy if you really think about it. But I'm just super excited to have him back because it would have been, as much as Aaron can be a pain for Packer fans, you know he's been a little wild lately, but to see him in a different uniform would have been weird for me. So I'm excited to have him back. I hope he retires a Packer. That'll be such a dope thing. I just think it's so dope when a player plays their whole career with one organization. There's something so cool about being faithful and stuff like that. So yeah, man, if he does retire a Packer and plays his whole career as a Packer, I will buy an Aaron Rodgers jersey. And I say that because when I do buy jerseys of my favorite teams, I buy them with either no name or a player who has retired from that team and is like a legend from the team, because for some reason I've had bad luck with jerseys, right? So when I bought an AJ Hawk jersey, and he got traded the next season to the Bengals. I got a Clay Matthews jersey. He got traded the next season to, I believe, the Rams. I bought a Lonzo Ball jersey, and then he gets traded to New Orleans. I'm just bad luck when I buy a jersey. It's just bad luck. So now I just kind of made it a thing to where I don't, or I just don't buy jerseys with names on it anymore. So if Aaron Rodgers does retire a Packer and plays his whole career there, then I will buy an Aaron Rodgers jersey for sure. Davante Adams, though, number 1 wide receiver in the league. Happy to have him back. Yeah, I just hope Aaron gets a little bit more weapons, and we should be solid. What else do we have? Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is going to the Denver Broncos. I mean, I believe it is the AFC West, I believe. I mean, that's a tough division now, right? You have Derek Carr, which rumors that he might go to the Colts, but I don't know. But as of right now, Derek Carr is still with the Raiders. As of right now, that I'm recording this episode, so by the time this episode comes out, he could be on a different team. You don't know, but as of right now, you have Derek Carr, you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Russell Wilson, and Justin Herbert. So I mean, that's going to be a tough division, right? And then the Los Angeles Chargers today got Khalil Mack. So the Chargers just got a little bit better, right? So their defense is solid. You have Justin Herbert's offense, which was solid last year, which creates, in my opinion, a playoff team. So that's gonna be tough, man. But Russell Wilson with the Broncos. I mean, I don't know. I know he didn't want to be in Seattle, but Denver, something about Denver is like, can they win now, right? And obviously getting Russell Wilson is like, you don't want to rebuild, you want to win now. So I think Denver, I mean, you have Jerry Jeudy, but you still need a couple more pieces. So I do expect Denver to go for some big ballers pretty soon, because I don't think just Russell Wilson can change that organization that much. But who knows, right? It is Russell Wilson, but I do think they need to get some big ballers, to create that cool, I don't know, just that cool team that can go far or whatever. So we do need to work on that. They need to work on that. But other than that, I mean, it's Russell Wilson, so you never know, Let me take a sip of this beautiful monster. Hopefully they sponsor me, as I've said. But yeah, so that's so far what is going on. I know a couple of other players have got a franchise tagged already, which is super dope. But yeah, I'm just waiting for more big stuff to come. So far those are the main free agent, like, big news people, I guess you can say. But yeah, What else? What else? Lakers. I am a Laker fan. I just we fucking suck. That's just what it is. We fucking suck right now. Yeah, we just suck, man. Russell Westbrook is. I feel bad for him because people were kind of slandering his name, and he was talking about like he doesn't even feel confident like bringing his kids to the game because they're gonna hear people talking shit on his dad, or they might even tell the kids stuff because people are just so disrespectful out here. But it is kind of funny. Like, don't be soft, bro. You are bricking Russell Westbrook. It is kind of it's fucking funny. So yeah, man. But just tough. I thought he was gonna be a little bit better, and I think LeBron did too. I think LeBron's mindset was like Russell Westbrook is used to averaging a triple double during the season. So I felt like LeBron probably felt he can rest a little bit during the season and let Russ kind of take over, and then come playoff time, they'll turn it up a notch. And yeah, Melo, I feel like he's just not getting enough touches, or it's just he's just not what he was doing with Portland. And I don't know if it's the team or it's too many players, too many superstars around. I just don't know what it is, but just not a good year to be a Lakers. I really doubt we're gonna make the playoffs, but if they do, if they make playoffs, they'll probably go pretty far, just because I think it'll give them that extra push. And LeBron is hitting that age, but he is still producing. So you just never know. But I just don't see it happening for the Lakers right now. But while we are on the topic of sports, there's something that I kind of want to talk about. As I said, I am Mexican American. A lot of my family is from Mexico, and it's just I grew up loving the sport of soccer. And when you combine those two, like if you guys don't know, even if you don't watch soccer, I'm pretty sure you've seen it on Twitter or whatever social media. But there was a incident at a soccer game between Atlas and Querétaro, which is part of the Liga MX. So for those of you guys that don't follow soccer, it is the Mexican Soccer League. So basically, from what I've seen, I guess, or what I've kind of read about, there's these supporter groups, right? So basically, there's a lot of diehard fans for the sport of soccer, and they kind of make these groups and they create chants, and they're the ones with the drum sounds or the trumpet sounds, or throwing the smoke bombs, whatever it is, right? Those are the crazy people that are like diehard fans, and I guess those fans got into it, and then I don't know what happened, but the whole stadium started fighting. And it is just something that I've never, ever seen before in my whole entire life of living. People were getting like straight up beat up. I believe so far there is 17 people dead. Excuse me. I believe so far 17 people dead. Actually, that was at the beginning. I believe it is probably around 20, if not more, because people were having to get hospitalized, and then from there, they, obviously considered, they couldn't do anything from there. So it is about 20, but people were just, they were knocking down fences, because for some reason they have these fences at the stadiums there, and they had like barbed wire, but that didn't stop them. They just smacked those fences down. They were just, socking people out, jumping them until the point to where they were just gone. And not only that, is they were stripping their clothes off and just leaving them there, which is super disrespectful. I just don't know. Like, it's just so sad. It definitely makes Mexican soccer look bad. It's just not a great look for them. It's tough. It's just tough. It's super tough. It's super sad for those families. Like, you go to a soccer game or any sports game, right? You go to have fun and watch your team play, and for some people, it's very important. Like, they save up all their money, they save up their money and their hardworking money to go and watch their teams play. And for it to end up in a situation like this, which is like, I know people have their fights at sports games, and I know people are always talking shit and they get under your skin, and, one thing leads to another, and there's always a fight, right? But a fight of this caliber, to where like you're stripping somebody's clothes off and just leaving them on the floor and just socking them out until they're dead, like it's just something so, I just don't know. Like, I just don't even know the words. It's just so sad. This makes Mexican soccer look terrible right now. And I know I know their supporter groups got suspended for like 3 years, and that team, Querétaro, I believe, is not allowed to have fans for a year. And it's just like, it just doesn't seem like enough was done. It just enough was done to fix that problem. Like, it's just something that I've never seen before, and there's a lot of people have probably never seen. And like I said, it was all over social media, and it's just so sad to see. Like, I don't know. It was just tough to see the videos and all that were online, and yeah, it's just a tough situation going on there. My prayers out to all those families and that lost people at the soccer game, because that's tough, and that's definitely not a way that you would expect anybody to go. And it's just so sad, But yeah, it's just something that I felt like I needed to touch on because, like I said, I am Mexican, Mexican American, but a lot of Mexican blood in me, so I just wanted to talk about that. But yeah, man, let's kind of lighten up the mood because that's a tough topic to talk about. I'm sure it'll come up in other episodes because some of the guests that I want to have on here are big soccer fans. I played soccer with them since I was little, so I'm pretty sure this situation will come up later. But if not, I kind of just wanted to make sure that I talked upon it and just kind of gave out my prayers for those families and stuff like that had to deal with that situation, that tough situation. But I'm interested to see where it leads up to, right? Because the World Cup qualifying is coming up. The U.S. is going to play in Mexico, I believe March, around the 20th, somewhere around there. And people are saying, well, Mexico shouldn't be allowed to have fans. And you have others saying, well, it wasn't the Mexico national team that fans that did this. It was a part of the Mexican league. But it's kind of like it's the same security. I mean, I just don't know. Like, I don't know how it's going to affect that. It's a big controversy going on right now, but the U.S. is going over there, so I hope everything is set by then and kind of secured by then. But yeah, man, I'm curious to see how that's going to play out, because the World Cup is such a big thing, and also Mexico is part of the 3 branch. So if you guys don't follow soccer, the World Cup is a very big thing, and it's coming here to the United States in 2026. But the only way they were able to host is if they got a bid with Canada and Mexico. So Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. are hosting the 2026 World Cup, right? I believe 90 or 80% of the games will be here in the United States. I believe it's 80. 80% makes sense. 80% of the games will be here in the United States. The other 10% to Canada, and then the other 10% to Mexico. And people are kind of saying, with this happening, Mexico shouldn't be able to get any games. So you have a big controversy going on, which is super crazy. It's just it's crazy to see where things go to and how they kind of just play this out, because like I said, nothing has ever happened like this. This is a crazy situation. I've never seen anything like this, so it's crazy. Sad to see. But yeah, man, I guess we'll see where this goes. But yeah, like I said, let's kind of lighten the mood because that was a tough situation to talk about. It's just never easy to when it leads to death and stuff like that. But yeah, let's find something else to talk about. What should we talk about? Like I said, it's super hard to. Well, it hasn't been so hard yet, but it's a little bit harder when you're talking to, when it's just you talking, right? And you don't have a guest to talk to. But we getting through it, man. Man, I'm just so excited. I'm already having fun, right? When I do podcast things, when I'm creating stuff, I just have fun. When I started the podcast with my boys, the Real Talks podcast, when I went on there, I did it for fun, right? And then as I started doing that, I was like, man, people really make money for doing this, right? And I was like, I want to do that. I want to make money off of doing this. Like, I can see myself doing this, and I feel like it leads to it opens doors to other stuff, which I would be very much interested in. Because I do want to open up a sneaker shop. That's been my dream. Opening a store in downtown San Diego is the dream. So we'll see where that leads to. But yeah, man, I'm just so excited. But we'll talk a little bit about that after a word from our other future sponsor. So let's take a break and listen to them. All right, so that was a word from our sponsor. We were talking about a sneaker shop, but yeah, my dream is to open up a sneaker shop in downtown San Diego. So I feel like creating the podcast will allow my platform to grow little by little, which will definitely help with that. So yeah, it's just so cool. I'm just excited, man. Like I was talking about earlier, I have friends that also want to create like clothing brands and stuff, and I feel like as my platform grows, I'll be able to help them expose those brands to other people, and it's gonna be dope. I'm just excited. But yeah, man. Let's talk about something light. What should we talk about? Let's see. Maybe Kanye. Kanye fucking be wilding out here, but he is a genius, a wild genius. Kanye is, I don't know, man. Kanye is super quiet when he's not about to release a new album. But then he starts fucking wilding, and people are like, he's coming out with the album. That's what it is, right? I know he was quiet for a while, and then all of a sudden he started wilding. And what do you know? Donda 2 is gonna come out. So, but he just knows how to get clout, though. You know what I'm saying? He just knows how to get clout. He knows he knows how to be entertaining. He knows what people want to see. He knows what people want to watch. But he's just a creative genius. Yeezy is one of the biggest brands, I feel like, now. As a sneakerhead, obviously I own Yeezys. Yeezy foam runners are so comfortable. I mean, and they're so ugly, but I bought them. Other people buy them. It's like he's just a creative genius. I know he came out with this stem player, I believe it's called, to what's it called? To listen to his Donda 2 album, which is super crazy. Super, super crazy. It is $200, and it's basically an iPod type thing. But it plays Donda 2, and basically what it does is kind of lets you like dissect the song, right? So basically, how do I, like, you can alter the vocals from the song, the drums, the bass. That's why it's called the stem, right? It's just like it's like you can control the parts that lead up to making this fire, which is the song. So you kind of get to dissect it and play with that, which is super cool. Something creative. I think it'll pop off later, but probably when it does, when you're able to put on your music that you want on there. But right now it is Donda 2 only. But super smart. I mean, $200. I'm checking right now. The stem player costs $200. I mean, come on, man. Kanye, it says right here, the first thing that pops up, Kanye West just sold 10,000 stem players in 3 days. 10,000. 10,000. I mean, guys, that is... I just don't believe it, right? This guy's loaded in money. 10,000 in 3 days at $200 a piece. You do the math. Crazy, right? Crazy. This man is just loaded with money. Keeps making money. I do need to watch his Netflix documentary. I heard it's super good. It is about old Kanye, I've heard, and just kind of how he started his thing and his interactions with his mom and stuff like that, and just how he became a creator, which is super inspiring. I feel like I'd get so inspired by that. I do need to watch it. I kind of just was not interested just because I thought it was about Kanye now, and I was just like, man, this guy's kind of a goof now, to me personally. But even though I like his what he creates, his clothing and stuff, but him personally, it's just like I'm not too interested. But if it's about old Kanye, which I've seen that it is, I'm like, okay, I do need to watch this because I feel like it'll inspire me to create something, right? And just kind of want to be better at what I create. So yeah, I definitely need to watch that. But yeah, man, Kanye gotta let my boy Pete Davidson kind of live, like, right? Like, stop trying to go at Pete. Like, Pete really doesn't. I don't know. Pete Davidson is just, I feel like he just doesn't care, right? Like, he's just a funny guy that just really doesn't care about other people, like what others say. Like, I don't know. Pete Davidson is just, I don't know. Hey, Pete Davidson, though, he got a list. His list is, being funny helps. Being funny helps. Let's just say that. Being funny, I feel like fucking helps. So, Yeah, man. Shout out to Pete Davidson, man. Yeah, man. Super. Hey guys, I just can't get over how excited I am about this podcast. I've been wanting to do this podcast for a while, as I've said before. Shout out to Flagrant 2. And used to be Righteous and Ratchet at the time that I started watching podcasts. It's called Here's the Thing now, Kevin Fredericks. But my main podcast that I like to watch is Flagrant 2, Andrew Schultz. Man, podcasts like those, they just hype me up so much, and they just inspired me to want to do my own. And then once I started doing the podcast with my boys, I feel like I got better at talking on the camera, and just better at keeping conversations going. So which I felt like, okay, I'm actually ready now probably to do an episode or start my own, right? But like I said, that one's a little bit easier because I'm able to talk to other people. But right here, for the first episode right now, it's just me, right? But like I said, I plan on having guests from here on out. So that's gonna be dope. And yeah, I'm just excited, man. I'm not excited for the editing. I mean, the editing it can be cool, it's fun. But after a while, you're like, editing's kind of tough. It really is tough. But yeah, man, I'm just super excited. As I've said 1,000 times, I already know. But yeah, man, I'm just fucking excited. I'm fucking excited, man. I do want to throw out some other content on here, though, man. Like some mukbangs. Mukbangs, I feel like is something. Actually, you know what? I feel like somebody did mention that to me. Somebody said, "Oh, you should start doing mukbangs," which I feel like would be dope. Yeah, man, I'm just excited. Hopefully, I can make a little studio in the backyard or something, so I can do the podcast out there, and I'll be able to decorate back here. I do want to come out with some decorations. Let me know in the comments, like, or just if you have me on Instagram. For those of you guys that are just listening, follow my Instagram, DM me. Let me know how I should decorate the whole thing in the back, right? Something, no filter. I don't know, something. No filter, but with YaBoiiBrandon, obviously. But yeah, man, I gotta decorate the back. It's just gonna be dope. Cut me some slack. This is episode 1, as you guys know. I'm just so excited, man. I'm fucking excited just to be fucking wild on here and just saying whatever the fuck I want to say. There's probably gonna be a lot of bleeps in a couple episodes because some of my friends they be wilding, right? Worse than me. But they're dope and funny, so I feel like that'll be tight. But yeah, man, I'm just super excited. What else should we talk about, guys? What else should we talk about? Cain Velasquez. That is a topic right now. That is something that's trending right now, right? So for those of you guys that don't know this story, Cain Velasquez is a UFC fighter, or a former UFC fighter, retired UFC fighter. So Cain is just, super dope dude, right? Every interview that he's done he's just so cool, right? But I guess so. Basically, from what I've heard, kind of from what I read a little bit, I might be missing some information. I'm probably gonna be missing some information, so just bear with me. But what I've heard so far is that basically Cain Velasquez, his daughter was sexually abused by this guy, right? And it's probably multiple times that I've heard. It's been multiple times, and this guy went to jail and basically got a slap on the wrist, and Cain found out. Kind of, what anybody else would do. He went with a gun. I guess he tried to shoot at the guy, but ended up hitting his stepfather, which was right next to him. Which is gonna survive. But it was in front of a school, is what I've heard. And it's just a wild situation. Obviously in jail he's facing, I forgot how many years he's facing up to, but I know it's double digits, for sure. And a lot of UFC fighters, a lot of people are like free Cain because, let's be real. A lot of people say, "Oh, if somebody ever did something like that to my kids, I would go and do this." And Cain actually he went and did it, right? And a lot of people, but people are like, "Man, why'd you go with the gun, right? You should have went and socked this dude out, right? You're a professional fighter, like you're basically a weapon, right?" So people are kind of wondering, like, why don't you just go stalk this dude out? And it just sounds better, right? Like, oh, I beat up this guy rather than I shot him. Like, for some reason that sounds better, even though probably would have done worse damage. As crazy as that sounds, would have done worse damage with his hands. But yeah, man, it's a crazy situation. Free Cain. I mean, everybody's just kind of like, if it wasn't for the justice, like if the justice system had done what it was supposed to do, it wouldn't have came down to this. But it is what it is. It's the world we live in. I don't want to get into politics. I don't really like politics. I know it's kind of necessary, but when politics comes up in conversations, I kind of just always want to check out. It's just like I just like to talk about fun stuff and crazy stuff, even though I know there's time for the serious moments like that. But yeah, man, just politics just makes me check out. But gas, man, gas is fucking. I don't know what we gotta do, but let's get this gas prices lower, because it's almost what's fucking $5-6. I mean, this shit is ridiculous. Gas prices they're fucking ridiculous. I just cannot do it. These gas prices are way too much right now. It's just not it, right? So gas prices, hopefully they can go down. Or else I'm gonna have to get a horse like everybody else. For some reason, everybody's on this horse wave. But poor horses, man. That's a lot of walking to go to work, because I work kind of far, I feel like, for a horse. But yeah, maybe I get a motorcycle. I don't know. I still be a lot because gas is a lot, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. But gas prices are killing me, man. I'm trying to go out here and burn some gas and have some fun and cruise around, but I can't do that with these prices. You know, it's fucking wild. But yeah, man. Let's get a word from our sponsors, because it is almost time for this clip. So yeah, man. English accent there. Let's hear a word from today's sponsor, though. Back from that little sponsor clip. Yeah, man. But yeah, gas prices are super fucking crazy. I might get a horse or a little fucking motorcycle, a little bike. I don't know. We'll figure it out, because it is a lot, man. It's a lot. But yeah, man. We are in our last couple of minutes. Our last couple of minutes for this episode. I don't know if this episode's gonna be an hour. I don't think it's gonna be an hour fully, because, you know, technical difficulties, or not really, just your boy. First, I should have bought some backup chargers, because this one's already gonna fucking die for the camera. Lesson learned. Episode 1, lesson learned. But yeah, man, this is gonna be hopefully close to an hour at least. Definitely more than 30 minutes of content, which is good. Hopefully we are around that 50 mark, because like I said, every episode I want to be no less than 50 minutes. The goal is an hour minimum every single episode. This is episode 1 though, so I guess I'll cut it a little bit of slack, but from now on, an hour every episode, which is I think it's good, especially if you're like at work or trying to let time kind of just pass by. An hour of listening, it goes by quick, especially if you're intrigued in the conversation. So hopefully the conversations will be dope on here, which I think they will be, because obviously whoever comes on here, they won't have any filter. They'll say whatever the fuck they want to say. But yeah, man, super excited for all the guests and everybody that's gonna come on here. I already know some crazy stories are gonna come out, some funny stories. It's just gonna be it's just gonna be something so fun. Like I said, I look forward to recording every single week. For me, I'm probably gonna have 2 podcasts coming out, right? So it'll be this one by myself, and then the Real Talks podcast that I have with my boys. So 2 podcasts for me, man. But this one is something special. It's mine, right? It's mine. It has my name on it. So I'm just excited. I'm just excited for everything that's gonna come. I think it'll be easier. It's definitely going to be easier though when I have a guest, because it's just easier talking to someone rather than you talking into a camera, or me myself talking into a camera. Even though I am talking to you guys basically, but yeah, man, send me some questions, man. If you guys can leave me some questions, maybe DM me questions if you have me on Instagram, or or just on the comment section on YouTube, some comments that I can tackle and answer those comments on here. So when I do have when I do have episodes by myself, because I already know there will come times where I'm supposed to have a guest or whatever, or I can't find a guest that week, so I'll have to do an episode by myself. So we're gonna have to figure that out, and then we'll just figure that out, and those will be I'll do it by myself, but it'll make it easier to have questions like that I can answer, and just tackle those on here for you guys. So if you guys have any questions or whatever it is, probably questions will be easier. Any type of question, right? You guys can ask me because it's no filter. So any type of question, I'll answer whatever the fuck you guys want to answer. So DM me questions on Instagram, on the comment section, whatever it is, and we'll try to tackle those, man. But I think we're going to cut this episode short today just because the camera battery, sadly, is coming to an end. So I'm going to buy those backup cameras so that we do have an hour for sure on the next episode. But yeah, man, this is episode one of the No Filter podcast with your boy Brandon, who is your host. You already know. Yeah, man, super excited. No filter. Yeah, man, freaking tell all your friends, your parents, family. I don't know, just tell everybody. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And just share it, man. Sharing it is important because even if you don't like it, somebody else might like this, which will help me out. So, yeah, man. Hopefully you guys like this. This is episode 1, as I keep saying. Episodes will be coming every single week to you. So become part of the No Filter crew. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. That is episode 1 of the No Filter podcast, and I'm out. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.